Hello, everybody, and welcome to MinnFacts. I'm Ben Hansen from MinnMax. This is our weekly community Q&A. Every week, we let $20 supporters on Patreon, patreon.com/MinnMax2wins. If you're listening to this, I assume you know that. But we let $20 supporters ask us anything under the sun, anything about our past, MinnMax's future, what games they love, deep cuts, questions that have never quite made the air for the MinnMax Show podcast, or even going back to the Game Informer Show podcast, whatever you want. And then, on top of that, we have our monthly community call-in show, and that is what you're listening to. So the last Sunday of every month, we call people up from the community.
I do have one quick message from someone who couldn't make it.
Please.
Ian Clark, who I believe was actually a big fan of Kind of Funny and MinnMax. Unlike me, I don't follow Kind of Funny, but he just wanted to make sure I let you know that he thinks he did a great job when you guessed it on Kind of Funny Games Daily. I really enjoyed watching it.
Oh,
it was great
sweet.
Interacting with that community.
Thanks to Kind of Funny and Greg Miller in particular for having me on. It was very generous, and like they were all very nice. And it's just bizarre to like dip a toe into the Kind of Funny waters, because it just feels like you're dipping a toe and the river is moving like 100 miles an hour, and like the amount of like feedback that we got, or that I got on that day when that podcast and live stream went out for Kind of Funny Games Daily compared to the average day, it's like, oh my God, it's too much. It's too sweet. Everyone's too nice. And you can just feel like the volume of the internet, like notice you a little bit more. And so it's such a weird thing for how, generous and nice Greg Miller is, but thinking about like, that's his every day. Like he's just awash in that much community feedback and just the volume every day. Like it is mind boggling. Hello, Squiddo Willow.
I was just wondering, you were on Kind of Funny this past Thursday, and I was just wondering if you got to talk with Greg much about, just running a successful Patreon and how he's grown it, and just, any stuff like that.
Yeah, what a great question. This is the perfect question. A little bit, not too much about like their history, but mainly I was talking to him about just like messaging a Patreon during this time, and like
that's super tough.
Yeah, it's really bizarre, because I was just explaining like what a weird situation is like with our relaunch and like trying to hit goals, but just like trying to make sure you're wording things well, so you're never like, here's a good use for your money if you have $400 lying around, or like, getting specific. I didn't talk to Greg about this, but it's like, these government checks are gonna be going out in the United States, and it's like, okay, like it would be so crappy to like send out a tweet about like, hey, check out these super expensive tiers on Patreon, like the day people receive that. So it's like trying to like make sure that you're getting the message out there, but not bothering people, or, there's obviously more important things than having the audio version of The Deepest Dive, And so so I talked to him about that and the balance of what to put on Patreon. Anyways, yeah, so it was interesting talking to him a little bit about that. I still feel like there's a mountain to unpack, because even the part that I'm really interested in, I changed the password, so no shenanigans, on the Patreon account recently, and so like I had to re-log in on my phone, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to log in on my phone, because I would check that number every day, and every time it would go up one, it would affect my mood, and every time it would go down one or two, it would affect my mood, and at a certain point, it's like, I just gotta hustle. And then I'll check in every once in a while. I'll check in every morning when I send out the messages asking new people how they found us, and try and just politely chit-chat with them, So mental health-wise, I think there's a lot to learn from where Greg Miller has kind of evolved throughout the years.
Honestly, you guys had a really good rapport, and just seeing you guys both talk, it felt like you were both really knowledgeable, and it was just really fun to see you guys. Like, it felt like you guys were equals. It was really, really cool to see.
Oh, that's really
and
sweet.
Then also, I appreciated too, like you gave out the shout out to GI and.
All right, Bob Buell. Anyways, did you have a question?
I did not have a question, but I in fact had this.
Oh no.
Welcome everyone to the fastest growing game show sensation in MinnMax history. It's Back of the Box Trivia featuring our contestant Ben Hansen. Ben Hansen, are you ready to play Back of the Box Trivia?
I was born ready, Bob.
You know how this goes. I'll read off the back, omitting a couple key words. Say your name to ring in, and let's see how this goes with one contestant.
I can't wait.
All right. The future is now. Are you with us? Join the ranks of a legendary force of soldiers, scientists, adventurers, and oddities known as blank.
Oh no. I could get used to this. Hanson.
That's Hanson.
Is it Overwatch?
It's Overwatch.
Yeah.
Nicely done. Nicely
Thank
done.
you.
1 point.
Thank you.
I only got a couple of these. I don't want to take up too much time. But...
No, I love it. Well, hey, DeFeo, thank you so much. I love the games this time around. I could play these all day.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you need to be involved in fun stuff.
Hey, thanks. I agree. Thanks for returning the favor. All right, take care, man.
See ya.
Bye. This was just a clip from MinnFax, which is our weekly Q&A for supporters on Patreon. Every Monday, we stream for what we call the High Council, and we answer any question they have about the game industry, our past, MinnMax's future, and on the last Sunday of every month, we actually have a call-in version of MinnFax. So check out patreon.com/MinnMax2Ns, and please give it a shot. Thanks so much.